We continued to track the park fire burning just north of Chico. CAL FIRE says the park fire, which sparked Wednesday afternoon, is now estimated to have burned more than 360,000 acres. Crews have established about 12% containment on the fire.
Now, this fire is being called one of the largest in California history. It's forced thousands of people to evacuate in Butte, Plumas, Shasta, Tehama counties. And tonight, many are waiting for the okay to go home.
The massive park fire still burning. More than 4,000 people have had to evacuate in Butte County alone. Many still waiting to learn whether their homes and properties were destroyed or still standing. With the fire growing in the distance, Don Lampy and his wife left Forest Ranch Wednesday night.
Something's got to happen. We got to be able to get up there. We got to be able to know what's going on, and then you just sit and wait.
CAL FIRE has identified dozens of destroyed homes. Lampy believed his was saved.
We've done all of the things we're supposed to do, the defensible space, and and keeping things in order.
Susan Singleton and her husband fled their home in Cohasset, just north of Chico, taking shelter in their vehicle with their 7 dogs.
Whatever we had can be replaced, but I wouldn't have left the animals at all.
She doesn't believe that she and her family will have a home to return to.
It feels like a miracle standing here. And
Butte County rancher John Russell speaking to ABC's Jacqueline Lee.
How much in damages did this cost your family?
I can't tell you yet.
Firefighters constructed a fire line around his barn.
That's what saved this place.
His cows and much of his property still safe. Sadly, that won't be the case for others like Susan Singleton and her dogs.
I'm just trying to figure out what we're doing. That's all. We got to have a place to land.
And tonight, some evacuations in Butte County were downgraded, but hopes to downgrade more ended when some fire activity crossed Highway 32.
And tomorrow, the man accused of starting the park fire will make his first appearance in court. ABC 10's Garj Paul Sunga joins us in studio tonight with more on what we could learn in court.
Yeah, Alicia, Ronnie Dean Stout II was arrested a few days ago for allegedly pushing a burning car down a gully at a park in Chico. He remains in the Butte County Jail tonight, and tomorrow we're hoping to learn what charges the Butte County prosecutors will file as the park fire shows no signs of slowing down.
This man, 42-year-old Ronnie Dean Stout, will face a judge Monday after he was arrested in his Chico home and accused of starting the park fire.
He is booked on suspicion of intentional arson.
Prosecutors accused Stout after a witness posted a video on TikTok saying he lit the vehicle on fire in Upper Bidwell Park.
Then she saw him get into the vehicle, do something in the vehicle, get out of the vehicle, and then push the flaming vehicle down the embankment.
They add the vehicle belongs to his mother, and the witness felt the man's activity was strange.
You really have to prove it, so you're going to look for things that he may have said.
Defense attorney Mark Reichel is not connected to this case, but last year helped the father and son duo Davis and Travis Smith avoid criminal charges after being accused of recklessly starting the 2021 Caldor fire.
I think what you're going to look for here is whether or not the district attorney's office charges it with intentional, which is a different penal code section, 451, intentionally starting it versus just recklessly starting it or negligently starting it. Intentional. You intended the natural consequences of your actions. You kind of desired this to happen. The sentences for that are much higher.
I take it this is a very fluid situation because the fire is still burning and you don't know how many more charges that could be tacked on.
That's exactly right. There are enhancements in the codes for how many properties were hurt, how many people were injured. Was there great bodily injury for just one person or many people? Those are the things that are actually sentencing enhancements that can send you away to prison for even longer than the original charge.
Attorney Reichel says it is difficult for both sides to prove their case as the erratic park fire continues to devastate several counties.
It is maddening that we're here again. And it is particularly maddening that this particular fire was caused by an individual.
And Stout remains in jail and he's not eligible for bail. And Butte County District Attorney's Office says Stout has 2 prior strikes for sex crimes and robbery with great bodily injury. Luke and Alicia.
Garchwell, we will continue to follow those new developments in court tomorrow, as well as efforts to continue to contain the park fire. Thank you, Garchwell. And Lassen Volcanic National Park remains closed due to the park fire. All employees and visitors were evacuated on the western side of the park. The Dixie fire damaged much of the eastern part of the park just 3 years ago.
And the wind's a big part of this. ABC 10 chief meteorologist tracking those winds and where the park fire smoke is heading.
Well, tonight it is going to settle into the lower elevations. We're already starting to see that transition unfold. Now, we're still seeing a large concentration of that smoke over towards the eastern side of that fire there, but it is starting to filter in through the valley. This is the exact pattern that we had last night, and that's why many of us awoke to the hazy skies. Now, here's what happens during the day. This was earlier this afternoon. So in the morning, we had that smoke at the lower elevations, and then it starts to move its way eastward, supported by those onshore winds. Again, they're coming in off the Pacific, so we see the smoke early in the day, kind of the hazy skies, and then through the day, kind of filtering out ever so slightly. Still have a light southwest wind for tonight, but we are seeing those downslope winds currently a little closer to the fire. Those are those easterly winds that kind of pull their way from the mountains and then back their way in through the valley. Here's a look at where things stand right now. As we move through the evening and into tomorrow morning, we'll start to see some of that push its way eastward once again. So much smoke moving into even parts of Nevada. So it's really a situation that not only is concentrated in California, but moving throughout parts of the rest of the U.S. Temperatures, meantime, in the 60s. Just want to let you know we are going to have a bit of that smoke for tonight, so may not want to open up those windows. We're going to see lows in the upper 50s. Highs tomorrow will still be warming into the upper 80s to near 90, but our main weather impact headline, 100s, making a return.